Bluetooth connected. Bluetooth disconnected. Bluetooth disconnected.
and welcome to Cornerstone Arena for tonight's matchup between the visiting MetroJets and the home Bearcat Hockey Club. MetroJets took the game last night 4-1 with Sutton Majeski with a goal and an assist, Gabriel Altman with a goal, Tyler Fleming with a goal, and AJ Zagani with a goal. The lone goal scored by the Bearcats was Nathan Dunn. And unfortunately, Nathan Dunn is out for this game due to the disqualification at the end of the game last game. And we want to wish Jake Taylor a happy 21st birthday. He celebrated last night with an assist. Toledo is 2 games in hand over the Jets, but their Jets are 2 points behind for the first place spot in the Great Lakes. So this weekend, the Jets have an opportunity to be the #1 team in the Great Lakes. After talking to Coach Carter this morning, he has very high hopes for this Bearcat hockey team. He believes that he has a chance to make the playoffs this year, and the team is very ready and excited to go for today. We'll start with the starting lineup, starting with the MetroJets. On left wing, number 25, Gabe Altman. At center, number 16, Owen Coulter. And on right wing, number 8, Alessandro Evangelista. And on defense, number 21, Enric Fournier. And on right defense, number 4, Jake Blum. Starting in net tonight is number 30, Philip Hall. And for the Bearcats, starting on left wing, number 42, Caleb Bauer. At center, number 26, Cameron Pollock. And on right wing, number 20, Nilo Yili Kankihila. On defense, number 15, David King. And number 68, Colin Hogriff. And in net, number 31, Deegan Rathburn. Bearcats have a different schedule coming up here due to Elmira folding and a couple snow games. Utica is coming here for the final doubleheader on February 18th. I believe the first game's at either 12:30 or 1 o'clock, and they play again at 6 o'clock. Hitting the ice. And then next this weekend, the Bearcats are out of town, headed to play the Colonels in Battle Creek. And then they finish the season again with the Cyclones in Cincinnati on the 21st and 22nd. And we got some youth teams here as the Bearcats have a youth summer program that travels the world. To find more information, go to bearcatshockeyclub.com. Coming out on the ice is the 2017 Canal Sharks and the 9U 2017 Livingston Blues. They're playing after the game, so they're going to watch a couple of periods of hockey here, and then play a game themselves.
Now we've started lineup works for the MetroJets. The left wing, number 25, Dave Altman. At center, number 16, Owen Coulter. And right wing, number 8, Alessandro Evangelista. On defense, number 21, Henrik Portier. On defense, number 4, Jake Blum. And in goal, number 30, Philip Hall. And now for your Bearcat Hockey Club. Starting at left wing from Las Vegas, Nevada. Number 42, Caleb Bauer. Starting at center from Lancaster, New York, number 26, Cameron Pollock. Starting at right wing from lapping around to Finland, number 20, Nilo Yuli Kekehila. Starting on defense from Buffalo, New York, number 15, David King. And starting on defense from Washington, D.C., number 68, Colin Holmgren. Starting at goal from St. Albans, Vermont, number 31, Deegan Rathburn. That goes to Mr. Connor Bednar. Please rise and remove your hats for playing with the national anthem.
And we're ready to go here at Cornerstone Arena. Our referee tonight is Jimmy Rogowski. And the boys are ready, banging the boards already, ready to go. Hall in one end, Rathburn on the other. Puck goes deep into Jets territory. Blum gets it around the boards to Evangelista. Gets it out of the zone, but hits the linesman. Back into the zone, Blum picks it up, gets it up, and Coulter brings it in, passes to Fournier. He gets it back down to Coulter. Coulter getting hooked there, no call. Skating around, and Pollock picks it up and puts it behind his net. Stolen by Evangelista. Gets it up. King steals it back. King gets it out of the zone and brought back into the zone by Altman. Altman with a shot. Save. Puck goes to the corner. Altman hits Hogriff, but loses the puck to Bauer. Bauer, he turns on his Jets and heads the other way. Sends it all the way around the boards. And I think that's offsides. And that's what I believe it is. It's going to be an offsides there at center ice. And Jets win the puck. And bounce it around there. And Sharon brings it in. He dipsy doodles, brings it in, but no shot. Puck goes behind the net. Johnson gets it and gets it up to Cardarello. Cardarello couldn't get it out. Goes back to Stanley, over to Johnson. Johnson heads it and dumps it in all the way around, off too high for Hall. Cardarello picks up the puck in the corner, and taken back the other way is Taylor. And that puck comes out in front, and back into the corner goes Johnson. Back to Cardarello. Cardarello shot and deflected up and out of play. Stands full of young kids today. Good to see for a hockey community. Puck won by the Jets. Cardarello gets it and loses it right back. Puck comes out to center ice, and Pivic picks it up. Shots right on Rathborn, and goes all the way around. Fleming gets it along the boards. Back to Pivic, back to Fleming. And Fleming still with it. Around at the point. Hit by Cardarello, and Cardarello gets it out. Johnson racing for it. Hall's out of the net to play it. Goes all the way around, and Stone picks it up. Stone gets it out to center ice, and puck bouncing. Cardarello brings it in. Hall comes out to play it again, and Pivic gets it and goes to Rathburn. Rathburn shoots it at the referee and all the way down the ice, and that's going to be an icing. And Bearcats win the draw. Moran gets it out to center ice. Blum gets it. Blum to Cody, and he couldn't control it. Comes all the way back, and that's another icing. And here we go. Jets win the draw. Puck goes behind the net. Hogruff gets it up. Lindsay gets it out. And Cody gets it back to Blum. Blum over to Fournier. Fournier gets it up to Baderka. Baderka dumps it in. Rathburn comes out of the net to play it. King gets it and has a hard time controlling it and flips it out to the blue line. Nothing there. kept in. Cody back to Majeski. Majeski shot blocked and goes back to Fournier. Fournier over to Blum. Blum with a shot right on. Rebound into the corner. King gets it up to Moran. Gets it back to King and kept in by Fournier. Fournier shot deflected. And Cody gets it in the corner. Baderka gets it and tries to get it out to center. Couldn't do it. And puck bounced all the way around. Hogriff picks it up behind his own net. And off he goes. Skates it out of the zone and dumps it in. The Bearcats head for a change. Hall comes out to play it. Blum takes it up and dumps it down the ice. Where Ottman's there, gets it in, but Bauer takes it back. Bauer gets hooked, and that's going to be a penalty there. Ottman's going 2 minutes for hooking. At the 4 minute and 12 seconds. Gabe Ottman, 2 minutes for hooking. Bearcats' first power play of the game. Olsen in the draw there. And Sharon for the Jets. Puck goes back to King off the faceoff. King walks it. Over to Johnson, back to King. King shot blocked by Zagani. And up to Sharon. 1-0, here he comes. Deeks, and he loses the puck and then takes out the goaltender. Sharon full speed into the goaltender. And no shot recorded. Rathburn shakes it off and looks like he's going to be okay. Probably not thrilled about getting ran, but here we go. Face off at the neutral zone. And Stone wins it back to Taylor. Taylor gets it and dumps it right on Rathburn. Rathburn gives it to King. King up to no, that's Cardarella. Cardarella back to Johnson. Johnson skates it with it and dumps it in. And puck goes right on to Hall from the glass. And puck won by Stone and into the corner it goes. Hogriff keeps it in. Gets it up to Johnson. Johnson stick handles. And that's a delayed offsides. Couldn't keep it in. And Cardarella. And linesman saying it's going all the way. Puck goes back for Cardarella. Cardarella slowly getting behind the net. Gives it off to Johnson. Johnson gets it out to center ice. And Stone steals it. Evangelista gets it into the zone. Hogriff gives it to Johnson. Back to Hogriff. And out the center ice he goes. In over the line. Drops it off to Kraus. Shot gets blocked. Kraus gets it again. Over to Johnson. Johnson tries to center it up to Grave. Too far for him. And Fleming ices the puck all the way down the ice. 30 seconds to go in the Jets penalty. Rathburn comes out to play it. Gives it to Johnson. Johnson shoots it and hits Gray. Bouncing puck at center ice there. And Gray picks it up. Gray loses it, and back into Bearcat territory as Johnson gets it. Majeski with the pressure from the Jets. And Johnson starts to go. Stick handles. Shoots way wide. And Out to center ice it goes. King gets it up, and they're going to call that an icing. And face-off goes back to the point. Luska with a shot right on, and some pushing and shoving by Kraus and Hartzell, and Bauer gets in there, and the linesman quickly goes in to separate them. Bearcats get a well-needed change there. And here we go, next face-off. And new center for the Jets. Patterson loses the draw there. Into the corner goes, around for Stanley. Correction, Johnson. And gets it up to Bauer. Bauer gets hit. And coming back the other way is Coulter. Coulter over to Cody. Cody loses it and drops it off, and stolen by Pollock. Pollock heads back the other way and into the zone. Taylor picks it up, gets it up to Patterson. He couldn't control it, and back into the zone it goes. Taylor stops and just gets drilled by Bauer. And coming back the other way, Zagani. Zagani trying to bring it in. And Bearcats get it up to Yili Kinkahila. Over to Bauer. Bauer just gets drilled. Shot. And Zagani gets it. Zagani gets it up to Sharon. And stolen back by Gila Kinkahila, and coming back the other way. Bouncing puck either way, and it goes out to center ice. Zagani 2-on-1 with Sharon. Sharon gets it. Shot right on. Rebound. And Yula Kikahila gets it out to the point. To Fleming shot. Loose puck there. Sharon with a shot. Zagani picks up the rebound. Out to the point to Fleming. Over to Bunk. And whistle goes as the net is off. And face-out goes. Zagani gets hit. And puck comes out to the point. The Bunk keeps it in. And it does get out by Bauer. And a couple of the Bearcats change. And Sharon gets the puck at center ice again. Drops it off for Zagani. Zagani gets it out to Bunk, but Johnson steals it with the fresh legs. And brings it back in his own zone. Drops it all the way around to Glumsky. Glumsky gets it behind. The Fleming comes in, and his shot gets blocked. Johnson gets it and flips it out to center ice. Bunk gets it out and heads to Glumsky. Dumps it in, and Gray picks it up for the Bearcat. Puck gets it back out to Bunk. He keeps it in, but block shot by Johnson, and we got a penalty here. It's a hook, and that is Ethan Gray. 2 minutes for hooking. Gives the Jets their first power play. And here we go, another face-off deep in the Bearcat zone, 5-on-4. And Johnson wins it. Comes back to Stone. Stone at the point. He dumps it in. Stone keeps it in. Up to Cody. Cody couldn't control it. Bouncing puck. Goes back to Taylor. Taylor shot right on Rathburn. Face off to the left of Rathburn here, and puck goes back. King gets it up, around, and all the way out, and deep into Jets territory. Taylor picks it up. Taylor to Stone. Stone takes off, and here he goes in over the line, around, tries to get it center to Cody, but Cody brings it behind the net. Out to Pivek, to Taylor. Taylor over to Stone. Stone shot right on. Rebound. Whacked away. Pivek back to Taylor. Over to Majeski. Majeski shot. And some pushing and shoving there. Face off to the right of Rathburn here. And the linesman being extra picky today. Durka gets tossed. And Majeski going to take the draw. Majeski wins it up to Bedurka. Bedurka gets it to Luska. Bedurka and Hila Kekahila gets it out of the zone and all the way down at the halfway point of the first period here. Luska grabs it, gets it up to Zagani. Zagani brings it in over the line. Deeks and doesn't shoot. Brings it back to Majeski. Majeski over to Luska. Back to Majeski. And that gets blocked over to Luska. Luska battling for it. And Bedurka gets it over to Majeski. Majeski. Dipsy Doodle shot blocked. Linked by his own player. Majeski gets it over to Luska. Luska over to Bedurka. And that's off again. "13 seconds to go in Jets penalty here. Buck goes all the way over. Hila Kekahila picks it up and gets it out and deep into Jets territory. Blum picks it up, and that'll do the penalty. 5-on-5 here. Buck gets all the way behind. Rathburn comes out and comes out to the point. Kept in by Fournier. His shot goes wide. Bouncing puck in front, and Rathburn grabs it out of the air. And it looks like both teams gonna change here. And puck goes all the way back into Blum. Picks it up in his own zone, gets it up to Evangelista, and that gets dumped in. King loses it to Outman. King gets it back, gets it around the boards. Evangelista gets it around. Hogarth picks it up again, all the way back to Fournier. Fournier shot right on, and Rathburn with the glove save. Puck goes back on the draw, and Fleming couldn't keep it in. Goes all the way back to his own zone. Bunk picks it up. Bunk to Coulter. Coulter gets it up and into the zone. Altman gets it. Tries to drop it for Coulter. Does. Fleming gets it over to Bunk. Bunk with a shot right on into rebound into the corner. Evangelos gets it to Coulter. Tries to center it, and King picks it up and flips it out to center ice. Bunk grabs it out of the air and brings it back into his own zone off the boards to Altman. Altman loses it to Kraus. Kraus gets it out of the zone, and Fleming dumps it back in. King gets it, and that's going to be an icing. And Stone brings it back to Luska. Luska drops it down, and it's coming back the other way. Cardarella picks it up. Cardarella in over the line, tries to center it. Nobody there. Coming back the other way. Stone gets it. Stone in over the line. His shot blocked. Pivak picks it up. Hartzell hits Kraus. And that's off. And puck goes back to Luska. Luska's shot blocked by Gray. He looks like that one hurt, and he heads off to the bench. Stone gets it over to Pivak. Pivak back to Stone. He couldn't control it, and it flipped out to the point. Taylor keeps it in. Olesen gets it in and deep into the zone. Taylor gets it behind his own net and gets it up to Hartzell. Hartzell loses it. It goes back to Taylor. Taylor skates it with it. Shot right on. And Olsen picks up the rebound and brings it out to center ice to Johnson. Johnson over to Cardarella. Cardarella tries to doodle. Fournier hits him. And Pivak gets it. Cardarella steals it back. He gets hit. Puck still in the corner. And Fournier gets it. And he gets it out to the point where Johnson's waiting for it. His shot gets blocked. Shot, rebound. Loose in front. And puck comes out to center ice. Stanley there. Bouncing puck at the line and gets it in. Johnson over to Pollock. Pollock whacks it and hits Fournier. Fournier gets it and gets it up to Bedurka. Bedurka over to Majeski. He loses it. And Johnson gets it around the boards. Kept in, but Pollock picks it up, gives it up to Bauer. Bauer gets hooked. Shot right on, and that's going to be a penalty here. 2 minutes for hooking. And it looks like Jake Blum, 2 minutes for hooking. .5:28 to go. Power play for the Bearcats. Olesen wins the draw over to Johnson. Back to Cardarella. Cardarella dumps it down where Bunk picks it up and gets it all the way out. King all the way back. Zucconi with the pressure gets the puck. Shot right on. And puck goes back. Cardarella picks it up off the faceoff. He's waiting there. Sharon with some pressure. And He turns on the Jets. And Cardarella comes back. And he takes off. In over the line and around. Johnson picks up the puck. He gets hit by Sharon, and looks like Olison's going now. Olison going for 2 minutes for roughing. So it's going to be 4-on-4. Eli Olison, 2 minutes for roughing. Time of the penalty, 15:20 in the first period. Puck one, back to Taylor. To Majeski. Majeski over to Pivic. Pivic loses it and goes all the way back to his own blue line. Gives it over to Luska. Luska back over to Taylor. Back to Luska. And Luska starts to head up ice. And his shot goes wide into the corner. Back to Taylor. Taylor's shot blocked and out to center ice it goes. Taylor skating back with it. Gets it over to Pivic. Over to Luska. Luska gets it up to Taylor. Taylor turns on the Jets there. And gives it over to Pivic. Pivic shot right on rebound. And coming back the other way is Johnson. Johnson dumps it. And Johnson headed for it. Wins the race but loses the puck. Fournier gets it up. Over to Pivic. Up to Fournier. To Majeski. Fournier whacked it with a high stick and touches it. That but is going to be a Jets power play now for 39 seconds. 0-0 still with 3:18 to go in the first period. Puck goes back to Fleming from Stone. Over back to Stone. And he heads in to the zone. Hogriff tries to get it up. Bunk keeps it in over to Fleming. Fleming deep to Stone. Shot right on by Glomsky. Oh, Fleming gets it over to Bunk. Bunk shot and no rebound that time. And puck goes back to the point. Zagani gets it over to Luska. Luska back over to Taylor. Back to Luska. Shot went wide. And Zagani gets it back to Taylor. Taylor up to Zagani. Lomsky gets hit and sent back the other way. Stanley gets it around and up to Bauer. Bauer to Sharon. Sharon keeps it in. Gets the Glomsky to Zagani. Zagani up to Blum. Fournier shot blocked. And out to center ice it goes. It's 5-on-5 now. And they're going to call that an icing. And puck goes back to Fleming. Fleming gets it. Shot scores! Evangelista gets the puck right in the house and puts it in the net and gives the Jets a 1-0 goal. That's Alessandro Evangelista with the goal, assisted by Taylor Fleming and Gabe Outman. And the puck goes into the zone. Jet zone. Fleming gets it. Gets it out to center ice. Bouncing puck. Coulter brings it in. He gets hit. Kraus gets it around to Lindsay. Lindsay gets it up to Kraus. Kraus loses it to Bunk. And Bunk dumps it, hits the linesman, and Evangelista gets it and gets hit. King gets it around the boards. Bunk keeps it in, and he keeps going around. Outman gets the puck all the way around to Luska. Luska keeps it. Altman with the shot, and that's going to be saved by Rathburn. And puck goes into the corner, and Luska keeps it in at the point. Pivak up to Majeski. Majeski gets it over, couldn't control it. Shot goes right on by Taylor. 34.5 seconds to go in the first period. And shot off the face-off by Majeski over the net and to the point. Cardarella gets it, gets hooked by Bearcat, and he steals it back. McNamara picks it up. McNamara's shot went wide. Luska picks it up. Luska gives it up to Cardarella. Cardarella trying to get it out to center ice, but Taylor steals it. Puck does go out to center ice, and Olesen picks it up. Olesen bounces off the boards to Gray. And Luska picks it up and gives it over to Taylor. Taylor back to Luska, and that's going to end the first period of play. Jets, 19 shots. Bearcats, 3. We'll be back in 15 minutes. And we're back here in Cornerstone Arena after some technical difficulties. Fleming gets the puck at center ice, gets it over to Bunk. Bunk dumps it all the way back into the Bearcat zone. Rathburn comes out to play it. McNamara gets it and flips it out of play. And while you were gone at the start of the second period, Alden Sharon gets the 2-goal lead, and that's where we're at. Blom keeps it in gets it into Zagani. Zagani gets it to Globsky goes around, and Sharon couldn't control it. Bauer takes it back the other way, in over the line. He loses it to Fournier, gets it back. Gray with a shot, rebound. Actually, that's Pollock. And it's in the corner. Pollock picks it back up and dumps it back around. Fournier picks it up for the Jets. Zagani gets it up to Globsky. He couldn't control it. And Sharon gets it deep in. King gets it over to Hogriff. Hogriff back to King, up to Ross. And Ross gets it up to Bauer, but too far for him. And Bauer and Taylor going to the boards. And Bauer gets the puck. Bauer tries to get it out front. And bouncing puck. And coming back the other way is Globsky. Globsky dumps it in. Races for it. Hogriff hits him. And Zagani gets the puck. Zagani gets it. And Moran picks it up for the Bearcats. Heads the other way and dumps it in. Taylor picks it up. Gets it to Zagani. Zagani over to Luska. Luska gets it up to Stone. Stone throws it to the center ice where King picks it up. Brings it in. Moran back to King. Shot, rebound, coming back the other way. Pivac couldn't control it, gets it up to Stone. Stone in over the line, takes a shot. Blocked by Hogriff. Hogriff loses it to Stone again. Stone tries to get it to Fleming and does. Hartzell down low, gets hit by Hogriff. And bouncing puck in the corner there. And flipped out to the point. Fleming keeps it in. Hartzell to Pivac at the point, keeps it in. Back to Hartzell. Hogriff with a big hit there. And King gets it around. Luska keeps it in the shot. Deflected wide. Moran couldn't get it out to Ross. Stone intercepts it to Hartzell. Hartzell shot. Rebound. Loose. And Ross clears it out. Luska with a shot. That gets saved. Moran gives it to King, who's missing his stick. And Pivac tries to get it to Fleming, and Fleming couldn't control it. Bearcats head for a change. Collision at center ice. And bouncing puck. Fleming gets it up over to Hartzell. Hartzell and dumps it in. And Rathburn's going to hang on to it. And puck goes into the corner. Cody gives it off to Majeski. Majeski back to the point to Fournier. Fournier over to Blum. Blum shot blocked by Johnson. Into the corner is Bedurska. Back to Blum. Over to Fournier. Fournier shot blocked. And Cody gets it. Back to Fournier. Over to Blum. Blum gives it deep to Majeski. Majeski loses it to Johnson. Johnson turns on his Jets and dumps it in. And Fournier picks it up. And shot. Gray comes from the corner. And that gets flipped out. And Johnson brings it in, shot, and Hall's going to hang on to that one. Faceoff's going to be to the left or right of Hall. Our left, his right. And faceoff won by the Jets. But Gray gets it back. Tries to center it. Nobody there. Taylor gets it out to Evangelista. Evangelista up to Outman. Outman goes all the way around. Back to Taylor. Taylor shot. Blocked by Olison in the back of the leg. Evangelista back to the point. Luska with a shot, and that's going to be hang on by Rathburn. Just over the halfway point in this game, it's 2-0 Jets. Shots on net so far, 26 for the Jets, 7 for the Bearcats. And puck goes. Bauer gets it out to center ice. Pollock grabs it and dumps it in. Luska back there first for the Jets. Over to Taylor. Taylor to Evangelista. He bounces up the boards to Outman. He gets hit, loses it to King. King bounces off the glass to center ice, and all the way down it goes. Taylor couldn't control it. Taylor dumps it to center ice. King waiting for it. And he flips it, and that's going to be an icing. Jets going to make a change while Bearcats are unable to here. And Jets win the draw. Sagani over to Sharon. Sharon behind the net to Globsky. Globsky back to the point to Fleming. Fleming shot gets blocked. Bauer gets the puck. Bouncing puck gets it over to King, but couldn't too far for him. Glomsky tries to center it to Sakani. That goes back into the corner. Sakani back to Glomsky. Glomsky hands it there. Couple of body checks, and we got a penalty here coming up to somebody. And it looks like it's going to be a Bearcat penalty. Roughing for Pollock. $12 minutes and 13 seconds. Penalty to Cameron Pollock. 2 minutes for roughing. Taylor gets it over to Stone. Stone shot goes wide to Pivac. Pivac back to Taylor. Taylor shot deflected wide. And Stone deep in the corner. Stone gets it back to Taylor. Taylor back to Stone. Stone walks in, shakes a shot. Deflection goes wide. Pivac skating with it. So around the world there. Tries to get out front. Nobody there. Stone back to Taylor. Taylor controls it. Gives it back to Stone. Over to Pivac. Pivac back to Taylor. Taylor over to Stone. Stone starts to walk in. His shot deflected wide. And all the way down. Hall comes out to play it. Taylor picks it up. Taylor starts to turn on his Jets and in over the line. Walks it through, gives it up, and weak deflection by Sharon right on to Rathburn. 48 seconds remaining in the penalty. here we go. Face off won by the Bearcats. And Hogriff gets it deep and down the ice. Hall comes out to play it. Luska gets it. Stops, heads the other way, and gives it up to Majeski. Majeski and over the line. He stops, stick handles, passes over to Cody. Couldn't control it. And Sharon gets it up. Hogriff gets it around the boards. King there. Battle along the boards. Gray gets it. And kept in by Majeski. Majeski down into the corner to Sharon. Sharon walks out. And it's 5-on-5. And no icing. Cardarella comes out off the bench, beats the icing. Gray couldn't control it, and it's coming back the other way. Majeski and King. Majeski gets hacked and then swings his stick. No penalty there. Coming back the other way is Cardarella. Cardarella starts to walk in. It's one-on-one. He shots off the butt end, and there is a penalty coming up now to the Jets. Number 8, it looks like, for a slash. Alessandro Evangelista. 2 minutes for slashing at the 14:48 mark of the second period. It gives the Bearcats a 2-minute penalty or power play here. After this period, it's gonna be check a puck. Fun to watch. Puck goes, Yila Kincahill gets it back to King. King walks it in and loses it and dumped out to center ice. Johnson picks it up. He stops, spins around. Stone on him. And Johnson brings it in. He walks to Yila Kincahill. He loses it. Patterson dumps it all the way down. Rathburn comes out, gives it to King. Johnson picks it up from King behind the net and heads to center ice. And dumped in. Fournier tries to play it. He gets poke check. Puck goes all the way back to King. He dumps it around to Gray behind the net. Gray getting pressured from Blum. He tries to center it. Nobody there. Stone picks it up. Stone dumps it down. And that's halfway through the first minute of the penalty. Cardarella gives it up to Johnson. Johnson, he starts to turn it on. Here we go. Johnson in over the line. Shot, rebound, nothing there. Little push and shove, and nothing there. 3:56 to go in the second period here. 27 shots on net for the Jets, 9 for the Bearcats. And here we go. Puck loose. Bunk gets it out. And Johnson gets it. Over to Hogriff. Hogriff, he starts to skate with it. And in over the line. He dumps it deep. Fleming back there. Around. Johnson there to stop it. Bauer gets it. He gets hit by Zaccani. Zaccani gets it and dumps it all the way down the ice. And that's going to do it. 5 seconds to go. And it's even strength here. 5-on-5. Cardarella turns on the Jets end to end. In over the line. He zips. Rebound. Loose puck. Loose puck. Still there. Loose. Poking and poking. And we got a whistle. Oh, and a couple extra shoves there. And puck goes back to Johnson. Johnson shot right on, saved by Hall. And we're going to redo that face-off. Puck goes back to Bunk. Bunk dumps it to Altman. Altman in over the line, gives it over to Evangelista. His shot goes right on. Rebound goes wide. Fleming keeps it in. Over to Majeski. Majeski cycles it. Stanley picks it up behind the net. Back to Majeski. Majeski centers it to Evangelista. His shot right on, and couple pushing and shoving there, nothing extra. Puck dropped. Peacock with a shot right on, and Rathburn with a save. I'm going to do that face-off one more time. And Johnson gets it. Pivac gets it in the point, gives it to Taylor. Taylor over to Luska. Luska shot, and that's deflected out of play. We're going to switch sides here. Maybe get a different result. Puck goes back. Stone wins it to Luska. Luska's shot blocked. Cardarello off to the races. It's 3-on-2. Back to Gray. Gray over. Shoots. He scores. The Johnson. Gray, and Cardarello. Bing, bong, boom. That's how they do it. Pass, shoot, score. Bearcats on the board with 2:08 to go in the second period. Cardarello over to Gray, over to Johnson. And that is the Bearcats' first goal. Sharon gets it back to Fournier. Over to Blum. Blum up. And over to Glomsky. Zakani with a shot right on. Shot goes wide into the corner, out to the point. Globsky keeps it in to Sharon. Sharon, puck comes out to Blum. Blum with a shot right on, and Rathburn with the save. His 26th goal of the season is scored by number 91, Derek Johnson, from Frankie Cardarello and Ethan Gray. Puck won by the Jets. Paderka gets it over to Blum. Blum keeps it deep. Altman battling for it behind the net. Gets it. Majeski loses it. Bauer falls. Paderka back to the point. To Fournier. Fournier shot goes wide. Altman back there. And bouncing puck. Hogriff gets it up to Ely Kincahill. And back to the point to Hogriff. Hogriff shot. Loose puck. Pollock with a shot went wide. Loose puck. Ely. And the net's off. And Jets are unable to change with 1:05 to go in the game, or the second period. And back to Blum. Blum gets it to the point. Kept in by Hogriff. Hogriff battling for it. Moran tried to get it deep, couldn't do it. And Hogriff gets it and dumps it in. They tag up. Fournier gets it up to Majeski. Majeski gets hit, loses the puck. King deep there for the Bearcats. Couple hits there thrown. And Moran gets it. Shot goes way wide. And it's 3-on-3 the other way. Majeski walks in. Majeski stops. Gets it back to Fleming. Fleming tries to walk it in. Bounces out the boards. Hogriff with the body save, and Rathburn's going to hang on to that one. 18.4 seconds to go in this period. And here we go. Puck won by the Jets behind the net. Sharon gets the puck. Back to Fleming. Fleming over to Bunk. Bunk's shot deflected wide into the corner. And Johnson gets it out. Fleming keeps it in into the corner. Tries to center it, and that's the end of the period. 2-1 Mets after 2-1 Jets after 2. 30 shots on goal for the Jets, 12 for the Bearcats. We'll be back in a few minutes. And welcome back to Cornerstone Arena for third period action here. The MetroJets, a 2-1 lead going into the third period. We're going to do a recap of the first and second periods. Jets' first goal scored by number 8, Alessandro Evangelista, assisted by Gabriel Altman and Tyler Fleming. Jets' second goal scored by number 89, Aiden Sharon, assisted by Ryan Globsky. And Bearcats' lonely goal scored by Derek Johnson, assisted by Frankie Cardarella and Ethan Gray.
The guys downstairs after they're looking to still claim their prize.
And both teams hit the ice here. It's anyone's game still. The Jets need to continue their pressure. They kind of gave up a little bit in the second period there, and Bearcats took advantage of that. And Bearcats need to increase their pressure for this third period. And we will have a very good third period of action here. And the puck goes back. Blum over to Fournier. Fournier dumps it in. Tipped in. And King back there for the Bearcats. Gets it up. And Johnson poke checks it to center ice. Fournier spits it out to Gray. Gray brings it in over the line. And battle there. And Altman pass gets blocked and into the corner. Fournier around the boards. Hogriff dumps it back in. Gray couldn't handle it, and Cardarella gets hit. Puck goes all the way back to King. Blum gets it out to center ice. Hogriff gets it at his own blue line off the boards. Too far for Cardarella, and Evangelista comes in and Round brings it back to the point. Taylor there over to Luska. Luska shot blocked by Hogriff. Evangelista gets the shot off. And out to Taylor it goes. He couldn't keep it in and gets it over to Luska. Luska dumps it in right on net. King gets it. King waits. And Johnson tips it. It goes all the way down the ice. Hall leaves it for Taylor. Taylor to center ice. And Globsky brings it in. Zakani shot right on. Rebound. Bouncing puck. Globsky back to Taylor. Taylor shot. Deflected and goes out to Luska. Luska to Sharon. Sharon back to Luska. Back to Sharon. He walks in. Shot. Rebound. Zakani picks it up. Zakani gets it up to Taylor. Taylor thinks about it. Shoots. Deflected right on. And Zakani gets a shot. Sharon gets a shot. 2 shots. And Zakani gets the puck over to Sharon. Sharon out to Taylor. Taylor keeps it in to Sharon. Sharon to Zakani. Zakani couldn't control it. Johnson gets it. Whacks it over to Sharon. Sharon tries to whack it in. And Johnson gets it off the board. Zakani blocks that, and the shot goes behind the net. And Stanley tries getting it out and couldn't do it. Bauer has it. Now he skates it with it to Pollock. Pollock couldn't control the pass. Taylor gets it. Taylor loses it to Pollock. Back to Taylor. And it's along the boards now. Fighting for it. Loose puck. And Luska gets it out to Zaccani. Zaccani in over the line to Hartzell. Hartzell shot right on to Rathburn with the save. Exciting 3 minutes of hockey so far. And Stone wins it back to Bunk. Bunk shot right on. Rathburn with the save. And puck behind the net to King. Ross tries to get it out. Couldn't do it. Kept in by Fleming to Pivak. Pivak behind the net. Dancing with it. Tries to center it. Puck goes out. Ross gets it. Hands. Tries to get it up. And that is going to be an icing. And Majeski wins the puck back to Fleming. Fleming gets it deep down low. Cody tries to get it, loses it to King. King to Moran. Moran tries to stick handle it there. Loose puck. King gets it, dumps it all the way in. Hall comes out and almost falls down. Bedurka back to Fleming, over to Majeski. Majeski flips it up over to Cody. Stanley races back for it. Cody loses the stick, and Funk keeps it in. Shot wet and wide off the back of the net. Majeski behind the net. Gets it up to Fournier. Fournier back down to Majeski. Majeski tries to center it over to Bedurka. Couldn't connect. Cardarella there battling for it. And he loses it. And gets it up to Johnson. Johnson 3-on-3 the other way. Johnson one-handles it. Bunk whacks it away. Cardarella gets it back to Stanley. Stanley one-times it. Loose puck there. Krause tries to get it in. The short side bounces off the back of the net. Johnson gets it up to Johnson. Johnson shot blocked by Bunk. And Bunk sends it down for Altman. Altman, his shot way wide. And Johnson sends it back. Fournier gets it back. Evangelista gets it. His shot off Rathburn there and into the corner. Bauer picks it up. And Johnson gets it out. Fournier back at his own blue line. Off the glass, and that's going to be an icing. Pollock, Bauer, and Yila Kankahila get there. Linesman trying to get everybody lined up there, and Coulter wins the draw, and that's set down. Olesen beats the icing, and Luska gets the puck, and Evangelista brings it in. Round to Luska. Luska over to Taylor. Taylor shot. Fanned on it into the corner. Coulter loses it to McNamara, and McNamara gets it behind the net. And he flips it out to Taylor, but Taylor couldn't keep it in. And he dumps it back in. Olesen gets it to Bauer. Bauer starts to skate with it in over the line. He gets poke checked and headed back the other way. Glumsky gets it over to Altman, and he dumps it deep in. Hograf picks it up at the goal line and starts to skate with it. He spins around and Sends it out to Yila Kankahila, up to Bauer. Bauer around the point, and his shot right on to Hall. And some pushing and shoving there. Pollock may have gotten away with a spray in the goaltender there. Puck goes down deep in the corner. Johnson couldn't control it. Cardarelli gets it. So Johnson stolen by Fleming and out to Sharon. Sharon to Glomsky. Glomsky gets it deep into the Bearcat zone. King back there first. Gets it around to Johnson. Johnson tries to kick it up to Gray. Not far enough. Sakani keeps it in. And that's flipped out down the ice. Bunk there. Cardarello right on his tail. And dumped all the way around to the boards. Sakani gets it up to Fleming. Fleming over and shot right on. I believe there was Stone. Glomsky over to Zakani. Zakani gets whacked and goes all the way down. Fleming in his own zone picks it up. Gets it over to Bunk. Bunk fans on the shot. Gets it up to center. Johnson right there to wait for it. And Hall hangs onto that one. No rebound there. Boys are banging on the boards. Stanley gets the puck, pops it up, and Jets get it out of their zone. Stone dumps it deep. Stanley dumps it around after getting hit by Hartzell. Puck in the corner and comes out. Kraus gets it off the glass and down the ice. It's a race, no icing. Blum back there first. Hartzell there. Gets it over to Stone. Stone dumps it deep in the zone. Olesen, first one back there. Pivak gets it. Stone tries to wrap it around, but Rathburn is there to stop him. Face-off won by the Bearcats, but Majeski steals that from McNamara. McNamara gets it again and whacks it all the way down the ice, and that's going to be an icing. Pollock and Majeski in there for the draw. Majeski's shot draw goes right to the goalie and out, knocked away all the way out to center ice as Taylor grabs it. Over to Luska. Luska gets it up and back for Olesen. Olesen whacks it back to center ice and Luska gets it again. Luska walks it in. He gets hit. Patterson with the puck now behind the net. Out to the point where Taylor is. His shot blocked loose. No goal. Net was off. And puck won by the Jets. Altman gets it. His shot right on. Rathburn hangs onto it. And that allows the Bearcats to change. And Altman with the shot right on. Rathburn hangs on to that one. Back to Luska off the face-off over to Taylor. Taylor cycles it down. Coulter gets it. Coulter walks in. Shot is deflected. Evangelista gets it. He cycles it behind the net where King is. King gets it to Johnson. Johnson taps it down the ice. Luska, first one back for it. Gray comes in there and picks it up. And coming back the other way is Coulter. And Coulter gets it over to Altman. Altman gets it deep in and gets it. Tries to get it back. Nobody there. Bunk picks it up and walks in. Around Hogarth he goes. Tries to center it. Nobody there. Bouncing puck. And Fleming gets it in front. He stops and goes the other way. Gets it up to Glomsky. Glomsky couldn't reach it, but Zakani gets it. Zakani comes in, and Rathburn with the glove save there. .10:08 left in the third period. Face-off won by the Jets. Sharon's shot goes high and wide all the way back to Fleming. Fleming gets it to Glomsky. Glomsky couldn't get a shot on. That gets deflected in the corner, and out to center ice it goes. Delayed offside. Tag up. Johnson back there for the Bearcats. Gets it up to Moran. Moran over to Kraus. Kraus dumps it in. Race for it. Bunk first one back there. And that comes all the way out to center ice. Over to Johnson from Stanley. Johnson dumps it all the way in. Bunk first one back there, and Moran gets it. Oh, loses it. Glomsky picks it up. Sharon, it's 2-on-1 the other way. Sharon tries to get over to Glomsky. And Rathburn just got whacked in the head. And they're going to call that an icing. And Stone wins it back to Fournier. Fournier's shot went wide. Kept in there by Blum. Ross with a big hit there. Kraus gets it out, and they're going to race for this one. And they're going to call that an icing. And Stone gets it back to Pivac, to Hartzell. Hartzell over to Pivac to Stone. Stone shot right on. Rebound to Kraus. Picks it up. Kraus bounces it out. Get it out. Ross gets it out. And they head for a change. Puck goes over to Fournier. Fournier starts to skate it out of his own zone. Dumps it in. Hits McNamara. Dumps it in. Gila can't get Gila. Tries to get it. And can't control it. Pivak with a shot right on, went wide, and Taylor couldn't keep it in at the point. Pollock gets it, stolen by Taylor again, dumps it back in. McNamara back there for the Bearcats. McNamara flips it and goes out to Bauer. Bauer walks in, tries to stick handle through a player, couldn't control it. And Pivak steals it, and Stone steals it back. Coming back the other way. Stone around. He just gets drilled in the corner. Then Pivak comes in and hits Olesen, and Hartzell picks up the puck, shot, and that's saved. A little mutual respect there between Pivak and Olesen, two big hitters. Johnson picks it off the faceoff, and he turns on his Jets. He goes around Luska, tries to get it over to Cardarella, but too far for him. Patterson picks it up, and he's headed back the other way. Patterson dumps it in, and right on Rathburn. Patterson with a shove. Hogriff going back and forth there, and Hogriff's like, I'm not doing this. .7:28 remaining in this third period of play. 2-1 MetroJets over the Bearcat Hockey Club. Face off one, back to Fleming. Fleming tries to get it down low, and Coulter tries to wrap it around. Out to the point it goes to Fleming. Fleming shot blocked. Evangelista gets it out to center ice to Bunk. Bunk dumps it in right on Rathburn. Rathburn, he comes out to play it to King. King over to Hogriff. Hogriff up to Cardarella. Cardarella tries to get it down to Johnson. Too far for him. And Fournier tries to get it out. He failed to do that. Goes over to Bunk, and Bunk gets it over to Evangelista. Evangelista in over the line. He tries to get it around. Nothing there. Blum keeps it in. Evangelista gets it back to Altman. Altman gives it to King, and King puts it in his own bench. And Jets win the draw. Fournier gets it over to Blum. Blum deep sums it deep in there for Sharon. Sharon does a good. Sharon gets the puck again. His shot goes deep into the corner. Zakani gets it out to Sharon. Sharon's shot goes wide off the back of the net. Glomsky gets it. Glomsky over and deep into the corner. Too far for Zakani, and Moran gets it along the boards, and he bounces it, gets it out, and gets it up to Krause, but that's back to center ice. Dumped in, tagged up. Fournier gets it. Fournier gets it up to Glomsky. Glomsky tries to get it over and loses it. And Fournier gets it back in his own zone. And that's going to be an icing. Bearcats change here. 5:46 to go. Puck won by the Bearcats. Shot goes wide behind the net. Zakani picks it up. And he skates it out of the zone. Gets it over to Sharon. Sharon loses it behind the net. Picked up there by King. Battle in the corner. It's anyone's puck. Still bouncing along the boards. And Glomsky gets it. He tries to get it out to shot off. That gets blocked by Hogriff. Hogriff couldn't get it out. Pollock tries to bounce it off the glass. Doesn't. Zaccani keeps it to Glomsky. Glomsky's shot. Rebound comes all the way out to Taylor at his own blue line. Over to Luska. Luska starts to skate with it. Luska in over the line. He gets hit. And kept in and poked out. There, Majeski over to Taylor. Taylor over to Stone. Stone, he drops it. Still out at center ice. And Pivot gets it up to Majeski. Majeski walks it in. Tries to center it. Nobody there. Bauer picks it up. And he's off to the races. It's one-on-one. He loses it. And they're calling that a delayed offsides. Bunk walks in. Shot blocked. And Majeski picks it up behind the net. Gives it to Pivot. Pivot, his shot blocked. And the net comes off. Puck in the corner. One back to Majeski. Majeski shot blocked by Evangelista. Bunk shot goes high and wide. Back to Outman. He couldn't control it. Bearcats head to the bench for a change. And whacked all the way out. Evangelista gets it over the red line and dumps it in. Stanley over along the boards there, battling there. Shot goes way wide there. Blum keeps it in. And Coulter gets it back to Altman. Altman one times it way wide there. And puck still around the boards. Cardarella gets it out. He gets hit. And Blum gets it up. Over to Evangelista. He dumps it in. Stanley over to Johnson. Johnson pass gets intercepted by Patterson. He dumps it back in. Upman and jump. And Patterson gets it back to Fournier. Fournier over to Luska. Luska shot, rebound. And Patterson shoots it out of play. And face off won by the Jets. Patterson gets it over to Taylor. Taylor's shot bounces wide. 2:35 to go in this one. Cody picks it up in the corner. And Gray back there. Hogriff kicks it out to King. King to Johnson. Johnson flips it up. And Luska picks it out of the air and dumps it in. King gets it. Over to Hogriff. Hogriff gets it, and he tries to get it over to Johnson, but Taylor intercepts that. Hogriff at the blue line, battling there, and Bearcats get it into Jet zone, but Taylor gets it back out, and he goes all the way down the ice. King picks it up behind his own net. He stops Patterson with the pressure. Hogriff stops and gives it to Johnson. Johnson up to King. King dumps it in and heads to the bench. And coming back the other way, Glomsky gets it out to center ice. Hogriff picks it up and he dumps it back in. Bunked there. And he flips it all the way down the ice, and that is going to be an icing. Minute 22 left in this one. timeout, Bearcats, with 1:22 to go. And we're ready to go here after the timeout. Puck won by the Jets. Bunk dumps it around the corner. Zaccani there for the Jets. And out to center ice it goes all the way down. Rathburn comes out to play it. King gets it. King loses it to Zaccani. Zaccani's puck goes back to Bunk. 1 to go. Zaccani walks it away. Glomsky picks it up. Glomsky's holding it up against the boards. And the battle's still there. 3 players on each side, and the whistle goes. And that's going outside. 47.3 seconds to go. Sharon wins the draw. Back to Fleming. Fleming dumps it all the way in. Rathburn comes out to play it. Too far for him. Hogriff gets it. Hogriff behind the boards to King. King gets it up to Yula Kinkahila. Fleming intercepts that. Dumps it back in. Hogriff gets it over to Yula Kinkahila. He gets it up. Fleming intercepts that. He just get rocked by Bauer. And that's going to be a penalty. And Caleb Bauer is headed to the box. They're going to get him for a minor penalty for elbowing with 16.7 seconds to go in this one. And Stone wins it. Over to Pivac, back to Fournier. Fournier, his shot gets blocked. And they're just playing hold it against the boards here. And King gets it out. And that's going to end this one. Jets with the win. And that's going to put them in the first spot in the Great Lakes Division. Jets win it 2-1 here at Cornerstone Arena. Final shots on net for the game. MetroJets 48, Bearcat Hockey Club 14. And that'll do it for us. And we will see you then. Have a good night.